Would Stuna please lead us in the flag salute?
Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you're here, you're fair game. Item 7.1. We would like to open the floor for public testimony. Oh, and we have one. Mr. Patrick Studer? Sorry if I said that wrong.
No, you got it. Thank you. All right, well, thank you. I'm a teacher here at Beaumont High School, and I just wanted to thank the board for all that you do, that truly you're serving something higher than yourself. So thank you for all you do. I want to thank the school board and the cabinet for going first and being all in, and I want to give you an example of how we have done that. So we have a paid work experience at Beaumont High School, and students have the opportunity to go and earn pay through our transitional partnership program. And so a special thanks to our cabinet, our special education director, Dr. Breyer, as well as Mr. Vargas, for approving this at our school. Mr. Shear, it went with very good success, and it was very well received, and was a way to be all in. In fact, it really hit home is because last week we had our TPP meetings, and up on the board there is a distinguished community partners, and those community partners had a list of people, but Beaumont Unified School District was the only school that was up there. So truly that we are going first, and we're being all in with what we're doing with our program. So I just wanted to thank everybody for that and for that opportunity to build the program. When I asked to speak, April said I had 3 minutes. I only thought I had 2 minutes. So I wanted to add one more thing that is an opportunity for us to be all in. And so I am kind of on the older side, and I have a little bit more history here in the past area. And so I just wanted you guys to kind of think for a moment back to a time when you bought your first house. And so also want to think of a time when what gas prices were like back then. And then also think back as to what you did with that house and what the price of that house is today. And so I remember a time that I bought my house here in the Pass area in Beaumont for $60,000. And then now it's $460,000. I remember we had to do the license plate thing, odd and even for the license plates. And so today we're at $6 a gallon. So I think as a Beaumont USD family is we have an opportunity to go first and address this cost of living crisis that we're having. And I think we could do it from within instead of relying on the federal agencies or our state agencies. I think there's things that we could do as a family that would help us all out, just as we did with our own families when the cost of things was much, much higher. And so today I'd like to ask you guys to consider that and look at processes in the business sector like Kaizen or Six Sigma to look at every facet of what we do to make us an even tighter and better family. Thank you, April. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Suter. All right, item 8.1. Do we have a report out of closed session?
We do. We have a couple. Does that turn on the mic? Here we go. 5.2, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation. In closed session, it was moved by Melissa Williamson and seconded by myself, David Sanchez, to reject claim number 2025-26-19. The vote was unanimous with one member absent. Again, 5.2, conference with legal counsel for anticipated litigation. In closed session, it was moved by myself, David Sanchez, and second by Dr. Lanston Sylvester to reject claim number 2025-2621. Again, unanimous with one absent. Again, with conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation. In closed session, it was moved by Jeff Brown and seconded by Ms. Williamson to reject claim number 2025-26-22. That was unanimous with one absent. That ends my report of closed session actions.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Item 8.2, we'd like to receive a report from the student board member, Mr. Caden Alderson.
Good evening, board members, cabinet, and community members. I'm excited to share information about our elementary school site's great events, activities, and accomplishments. Firstly, with Anahaws Elementary. Spring is in full effect at Anahaws Elementary, which means that the gardening club has been brightening up the atrium. Thank you to the staff members, Michelle Marmon, for leading. The Spring's festival theme was Anahaws Elementary Jungle Adventure. Special shout out to Site Teacher of the Year, Gabriel Starbuck, and the PTA for organizing the parent engagement event. Throughout the month of April, Anahaws celebrated Autism Acceptance Month by sharing facts about autism and wearing a red autism awareness shirt. Kindergarten teacher Katie Meadral, pronounced Myrtle, my apologies, was recognized by Cal State San Bernardino for her outstanding support of student teacher Danielle Ortiz. On to Brookside. The second grade students at Brookside Elementary School went on a field trip to the Wildland Conservancy in Oak Glen. The students had a great time with the hands-on learning opportunities. The transitional kindergarten classroom had hands-on activities to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. The students completed various arts and science lessons with a green theme. Brookside celebrated our English language learners during our ELAC meeting in March. Awesome work to our dedicated students and to Mrs. Keels for her support and student growth. The first grade students completed the Dr. Seuss musical. All their hard work in memorizing the songs and lines paid off. March Madness wrapped up with our annual staff versus students basketball game. Staff came out on top once again, extending their undefeated streak. The exact number of years remains a mystery. We've had a lot of exciting house activities recently, including the Macarena Challenge and the Caballero Dorado dances, which have been great for student engagement and school spirit. The school hosted a wonderful family paint night in partnership with Expanded Learning Opportunities Program Department, bringing families together for a creative and fun evening. We also celebrated Dia del Niño with a lively event featuring dancing, music, and piñatas at the enjoyable experience for all involved. On to Starlight. The Starlight Elementary School TK and kindergarten staff proudly participated in the TK/K rally, where they provided valuable information and warmly welcomed new students and families to our school community. The school is thrilled to celebrate Penelope Santana and Roman Reyes, who were recognized as AVID standouts at the Riverside County Office of Education AVID ceremony held yesterday at UC Riverside. Congratulations on this outstanding achievement. The staff brought energy and creativity to our campus by performing a motivational play to inspire our 3rd to 5th graders students to do their very best on the state tests. In a wonderful show of support, our TK through 2nd grade students joined in to cheer on their buddies and encourage them to succeed. The school is also incredibly proud of our Starlight Superstars, who had the honor of singing the national anthem at Angel Stadium. What an unforgettable experience. On to Sundance. Congratulations to Sundance Elementary School. 1st grade student Micah for earning 1st place in the World Math Day Challenge in April. He was the top 1st grader in the USA. Family Walk Night allows families to walk the track together and earn prizes for each completed lap. They can check out books from the local library bookmobile after their walk. The school loves spoiling our administrative professionals. They truly help run the school with their dedication and hard work for students, families, and staff. The Summerlin Trails Elementary School kindergarten performance was very enjoyable, with a delightful performance and a warm audience. The 5th grade students greatly enjoyed their experience at science camp, engaging in hands-on experiments, exploring nature, and building lasting memories with their friends and teachers. The Century Family Night was a fun-filled event with special thanks to Miss Mexico and her team for organizing the experience for the families. Career Day was a tremendous success. Thank you to Mr. Rio, his team, the families, and the community for organizing an outstanding event for the students. As always, thank you to all our parents, family, students, and staff. This concludes the presentation on events and activities taking place at our elementary school sites.
Thank you, Caden.
Thank you, Caden. Item 8.3, receive a report from the superintendent and review the district calendar for the month of May 2026.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I will start by highlighting our Riverside County Student Academic Awards. On Tuesday, April 21st, Riverside County Office of Education recognized the top seniors in the county. From Beaumont High School, Brandon Arigante, Maya Barber, Ellison Chase. From Beaumont Middle College, Christopher Valero, and from Glenview, Dylan Smith. Christopher was also awarded the Exceptional Graduate Award, which was a great honor for Beaumont Unified. And board member David Sanchez and Melissa Williamson were present to support our students. On April 24th, the California Department of Education recognized distinguished schools in the state, which is California's highest honor for schools. Beaumont Middle College High School received that recognition. Staff, administrators, and Beaumont USD President Jeff Brown were in attendance. And on the same night, we had to split to support two events. The Riverside County Office of Education recognized students and educators for their efforts to foster bilingual education. Recipient of the Bilingual Educator Succeeding Together Award, teacher Elva Paz. Scholarship recipient for essay on bilingual education from Beaumont High School, senior valedictorian Logan Moon. And on April 27th, Western Riverside County Association of School Managers, which is a chapter for ACSA, the Association of Administrators for the State of California. Principal Dr. Mary Sines was recognized. She's the principal at Summer Wind Trails. And in her recognition, the association noted Dr. Sines as being equity-driven leader and has elevated the middle school experience. Congratulations to our principal. On Thursday, April 30th, the 5th Annual Mosaic Legacy Gala for the Mosaic Foundation awarded our own Assistant Superintendent of HR, Jennifer Castillo, Mosaic Inclusivity Excellence Award. The award recognizes work in fostering inclusive learning environment, respecting diversity, and valuing humanity. Beaumont USD cabinet members, family, and board member Melissa Williamson were in attendance. And on May 1st, California Continuation Education Association had their state awards, and they recognized in the category of the Superintendent of the Year, myself, Administrator of the Year, Dr. Benicia Carr, Teacher of the Year, Candy Romero, and Classified Employee of the Year, Taryn Lohr. Exemplary Program Award went to our own CTE Medical Pathway Program at Glenview. And I know this was covered already in Anna Haas's report, and just want to congratulate our resident teacher on her recognition. As for, I missed the SELPA program on my report, but again, Riverside County SELPA, which is our JPA for special education, has recognized, thank you, has recognized some of our teachers and our own assistant principal at Mountain View. So you have actually the school and the names of our recognized, and congratulations to our special education program for being highlighted in the county. We had our vocational nurse class 39 graduation last night, and 23 students graduated from Beaumont Adult School from the nursing program. The graduates now are eligible to take the next step to become licensed vocational nurses, LVN. Board member Melissa Williamson also accepted the class for class 39. Region 19 ACSA Spring Awards also happened last night. We've been splitting into celebrating a lot of our staff throughout the county and the state. And in that award celebration, Dr. Eben Brown was in the category of Instructional Services, Assistant Superintendent of Instruction and Support Services. Jennifer Castillo was recognized, our Assistant Superintendent of HR, and our own Gabby Toledo in the area of Special Education, our Director of Special Education. Congratulations to all of these highlights. I know it's a long program. Did I miss anything? Let's see here, the calendar updates. And so I'm going to refer to the slide on the calendar update. On May 15th, which is this Friday, we will have an exciting retirement dinner. And the theme, as you all know, Western, so I want to see you in all of your hats and boots for the dancing after the event. And on May 20th, we have the Alternative High School Senior Award Night at Beaumont High School Theater, because we've grown out of this room, actually, and we're going to hold it at the theater. Beaumont High School Senior Award Night will be on May 21st. Our regular scheduled board meeting will be on May 26th here in this room. May 27th, we'll have our ribbon cutting, exciting ribbon cutting for Palm Innovation Academy kitchen and shade structure project. So we're excited to go celebrate with the staff and students. And then on May 29th, our adult school graduation at the adult school. So lots of events yet. I'll show you the pictures at the next superintendent report. And that's it for the report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Kakish. Item 9.1, approve the consent agenda. Items prepared for consent agenda are consistent with adopted approved policies of the district and are deemed routine in nature. They will be acted upon in one motion without discussion unless a member would like to have an item removed for discussion. In that event, it will be taken up in the order indicated on the main agenda. Do I have a motion? Would anyone like to remove any items? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
I move the consent agenda.
I second.
All right, so David and Lance, all right, and call for the vote. And the motion carries. Item 9.2, approve the minutes of the regular board meeting from April 7th, 2026, and the special board meeting from April 22nd, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Wait. Am I missing? No.
Yeah. Are we off track?
9.2.
Yeah, but
I see that next is the 11.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, sorry.
He has the long report for consent, so we have to
Yeah.
pass all of the consent to 11.1,
Sorry.
right there.
There we go. Sorry, I got off track. Thank you, Ms. Williamson.
Okay.
All right. Item 11.1.
Point of order, you need to vote.
The board actually skipped around on the system. So we're still on 9.2, which is approved minutes.
Oh,
And that needs a vote.
Yeah, for some reason it's not syncing and it skipped around. And went to 11.
So 9.1 is one of the consent agenda items, and all consent is taken in one action.
good. I thought I took all of 9 at once.
Yes.
So you did 9.1 to 9.9?
Yes, I did 9.1. Yes. So,
I didn't
All
hear
right.
that.
So back to the script.
So
we can
yes.
go off.
all right. Yay. Agenda item 11.1, consideration of extension on building for Oak Valley property. This is the time and place designated to open proposals for the purchase of the district's advertised surplus properties, which include the Oak Valley property, the Manzanita property, and the Pennsylvania property. We have an item of business, however, which I understand relative to the Oak Valley property as a recommended extension of the bidding for that property. Mr. San Martin, would you like to elaborate?
Good evening, Board President Brown, Superintendent Kakish, Board of Trustees. This evening, we're presenting a few items. This is a auction process. But starting with the first item here on 11.1, on January 27th, the board adopted 3 resolutions of intent declaring the intention to sell 3 properties. These are 3 surplus properties that we own. One of those properties was Oak Valley Parkway, site identified on the agenda items 11.1. Bidding was set for this evening, May 12th. However, we recently received a request from the city of Beaumont, who has identified a potential project on that location. Accordingly, they have requested to reopen negotiations with the district on that specific location, which is permitted under Education Code and surplus in the Surplus Land Act. We're asking the board tonight to continue the bidding established by a resolution of intent for September 8th, 2026. This will allow staff to continue negotiating with the city, and would also, we're requesting to delegate the superintendent or designate to provide required notice and notices. Also, as a side note, we did not receive any written bids for the Oak Valley property, so this action will not have any immediate impacts on the bidding tonight.
Thank you, Mr. San Martin. Do I have a motion?
I have a motion to extend the negotiation period to September 8th.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. And the motion carries. Item 11.2, consideration of sealed proposals for the purchase of the surplus properties. Moving to item 11.2, we will now move to the opening of the bid proposals for the purchase of the remaining 2 parcels, those being the Manzanita property and the Pennsylvania property.
Thank you, President Brown. The district did not receive any written bids for the Manzanita property and received 1 bid for the Pennsylvania property.
Thank you. Will you please open the bid for the Pennsylvania property and read the name of each bidder, the price offered, and the amount of the broker's commission, if applicable, to the proposal?
So in the amount of $4,550,000, bidder submitted, Lewis Land Development, LLC. It's been signed. They submitted a check for $10,000, so this bid is conforming.
All right. Only those bids that meet all of the terms and conditions set forth in the resolution of intent will be considered. Please confirm that all bids received ensure that the terms are met.
They are confirmed.
Okay. Are you ready to report to the board regarding the written proposals?
There are no written proposals. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the written proposal. So this is the dollar amount that anybody oral proposal needs to come in at is at $4,777,500. So,
Okay.
All right. We received a written bid by Mr. Robert Martin, located in Upland, California, as stated by Ms. Gonzalez, for a bid of $4,550,000. The base bid, this removing the broker's fee and commission, would be at $4,413,500. Now, on this particular bid, there is no broker's fee, so it remains at $4,550,000. We ask the board now that we can move forward with the oral bids.
All right. All right. Thank you. Oral bids must meet all of the established terms and conditions for the purchase of the properties, and the successful oral bid must be reduced to writing following the completion of the bidding and before the board accepts such bid. The first oral bid for each property must exceed the highest written bid by at least 5% after deducting any broker's commission. Starting with the Manzanita property, has staff calculated the minimum oral bid? So it looks like we have. So the minimum oral bid.
We didn't receive any.
Yes,
from
as,
Manzanita.
Nothing.
as no written
Oh,
bids were,
Manzanita, sorry. We have nothing for Manzanita.
right, as no written bids were received for the Manzanita site,
Okay.
any oral bid must simply meet the minimum price established by the board of $1.3 million with a broker's commission of no more than 3%.
Okay.
Do we have any?
All right. If we have anyone in attendance interested in submitting an oral bid, would you please, this is for the Pennsylvania property. If anyone in attendance, huh?
Manzanita.
Manzanita.
Manzanita?
Yeah, you're still on Manzanita.
Oh, sorry. If we have anyone in attendance interested in submitting an oral bid, would you please step forward one at a time to the podium, identify yourselves and the amount of your bid for the Manzanita property, and if you have a broker's commission, any oral bidder who is outbid may bid again.
Okay.
All right. As no bids were received, the Manzanita property, for the Manzanita property, that will conclude the bidding for such property, and the district will reevaluate its options for such property going forward. Now for the Pennsylvania property. Has staff calculated the minimum oral bid amount?
Yes, the highest written bid received for the Pennsylvania property provided the district with a net return of $4,550,000. After deduction of the broker's commission, which this bid does not have, the oral bidding must start at $4,777,500.
If we have anyone in attendance interested in submitting an oral bid, will you please step forward one at a time to the podium, identify yourselves, the amount of your bid for the Pennsylvania property, and if you have a broker's commission, any oral bidder who is outbid may bid again. Thank you. The board acknowledges no oral bid has been presented for the Pennsylvania property. Accordingly, the minutes shall reflect that the highest written bid remains the highest written bidder. As a reminder, in the event that the highest bidders are unable to meet all the terms and conditions of the purchase, the next highest bidder will be considered. It is the responsibility of all oral bidders to ensure that their bids are reduced to writing and that their contact information is on file with the district before leaving tonight. Failure to do so may result in forfeiture of your bid. Would any of the board like to convene to close session to discuss?
I don't have a need.
All right. All right, the board will now consider resolution number 2025-26-42 relating to the sale of Manzanita property or else reject all bids. As presented this evening, the board.
Since we did not receive any.
We didn't receive anything on Manzanita.
So we don't have to act on that.
So we don't have to act on 14-1?
We don't, we can just pull it.
Okay. All right. 14.2. The board will now consider resolution number 2025-26-43 related to the sale of Pennsylvania property or else reject all bids as presented this evening. The board has several options. A, adopt a resolution accepting the highest bidder as identified in the minutes of this meeting. B, adjourn to another session of the same meeting to be held within the next 10 days at which the offer must be accepted or all offers rejected. C, reject all bids. Do I have a motion to either adopt the resolution, adjourn to closed session, adjourn to a session within 10 days, or reject all bids for Pennsylvania?
Move the adoption of the resolution.
Second.
Oh, is that Melissa or Lance?
Either. Melissa.
Melissa, okay. All right, all in favor of
Adopting to accept the resolution.
adopting the accepted resolution? Say aye.
Aye.
Is it agendized to vote electronically? Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, we just.
all right, call for the vote. Cleaner that way. And the motion carries. Much more familiar territory.
We are done with the script.
Congratulations to both parties.
Yes.
Can I ask a quick question on that? Because you mentioned Robert Martin Lewis Development. That's the same, is that the
It
same?
was Lewis Development was the.
Oh, okay.
It was
Okay.
Robert Barton.
Thank you, that was gonna bother me, and I'm assuming that's you.
And I think the representative is here tonight.
Yes.
as well, so.
Congratulations. You had a big smile on your face, so.
All right.
14.3.
Okay. The script got us way out of whack here, sorry. Just trying to catch back up. All right. 14.3, authorize the superintendent to establish the specifications necessary, including resolutions, applications, documents, in order to move forward with a bond extension with no new tax rate optional for the November 2026 election and bring back at a future board meeting for review, consideration, data on a potential new bond for the November 2028 election.
So this item,
input.
based on our study session that we've had last month on the 22nd, we've prepared just a few slides to kind of summarize to the audience for their benefit to know the options that the board has regarding measures on the 2026 ballot. So while our staff are getting the presentation up, I just want to remind our board about the process. We have gone to our community with a survey that surveyed several options. One option was to have a measure on the ballot that would extend Measure T from 1998 that was about to expire next year. That measure at the time was authorized for $20 per each $100,000 of assessed value. And so if the board would entertain that idea to actually extend that tax and take it to the voters on the 2026 election, this would yield over the course of that bond measure approximately $86 million to be spent on facilities, current facilities renovation or increasing capacity through adding classrooms. And so that was surveyed, and the presentation will show that it was supported by our community, or a sample representation of our community. When the survey is done, it takes approximately 450 to 500 voters that mirrors the demographics of the voters across the district boundaries. And so with that information, you will be able to tell if that representation can support the measure. So for that particular measure, as an extension of tax, not an increase to the tax, it was supported by the community at the end. So they do initial percentage test. They add a lot of positive arguments to why you should vote for this, and then they add a lot of negative arguments to why voters would not vote for this. At the end of the day, it still received 62% support by our voters. The other measure that was tested through the same survey was an increase to the tax, and in this case, we have provided a sample of an increase, approximately $38 per $100,000 of a new tax. And that was tested, the same sample, and that particular idea was not necessarily supported. Now, just to remind everybody that the district for Proposition 39 general obligation bond needs 55% approval of the voters that would actually vote on that measure. And in this case, the survey resulted in 49% support of a sample voters. So with that, and this is the slides that kind of summarizes the two different bonds, a bond extension, which means no increase to the current base tax, and a new bond of an increase of $38 per 100,000. So these are the two options. These are the results of the survey. And so based on that information, can we go to the next slide? Staff is recommending that the board authorizes the superintendent to establish the specification necessary, including resolutions, applications, documents, in order to place a bond extension with no new tax rate option on the November ballot 2026. And then we're also recommending that for that particular vote, because of May being such an impacted board meeting with several items that are really big, like the budget, the LCAP, tentative agreements of bargaining units, school plans, and the superintendent evaluation, it's just so much on the agenda for the next time. The June meeting, usually we don't have the same attendance. And so we will recommend that we come back in July, on July 21st, to take that vote, if the board is okay with that. And that gives you plenty of time before August 7th, which is the deadline to actually file to put it on the ballot, according to our register of voters for the Riverside County. Riverside County and San Bernardino County. By the way, we have a section of our district in San Bernardino County, so we have to put it on both ballots. So, so that's with regards to the extension. And also staff recommends that we revisit and do, continue to do education about the need for additional bond and additional dollars for facilities, and bring back a consideration for the 2028 elections. And of course, we will also bring back a survey results that hopefully favorable to do a new tax increase measure on that ballot. So we just put this as, you don't have to actually take a vote on the actual measure right now, but you're making a decision on whether that you authorize the superintendent to bring back for your consideration in July a bond extension. And we can open it up for discussions, questions, or a vote.
I think first we need a motion and then a discussion, so. Do I have a motion?
I'll move for discussion.
Move for discussion. Okay?
We need a second, though.
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, and for discussion for myself, after hearing the testing from our agency that we hired to do sampling, the bond extension seems the most practical with the least amount of impact for our community. So I would vote for that. Adding a new bond, I am not comfortable with, especially, again, the economic situation that's been affecting our community this last couple of months. But even with the HOAs and Mellorews that are these housing developments are putting on our parents, I'm not comfortable. Maybe in 2028 it might be more palatable, but right now the bond extension seems to be the best fit for our community and the resources that are available, that everyone has, for the most part, already learned to budget within their households.
The only issue I have with that perspective is the HOA and those paying the Mellorews tax are mostly in favor of it. So it's not in my trustee area, we have the Mellorews tax and we have the HOAs, and they are actually, that segment of Beaumont is actually more in favor of the extension and the new bond. So the aspect of your comment of those paying those things being not for it is, I don't think, 100% accurate.
We put this, we put a new bond on the last 2 cycles or 3 cycles, and they failed.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that it's not the aspect of the reason you gave. It's more of the seniors in different territory of Beaumont.
Well, Dr. Sylvester, while it is true in your trustee area that even in the last bond that went to vote, it was pretty overwhelmingly accepted in that area. There are a lot of people in my area and Melissa's trustee area who also pay Mellorews, and those areas mostly rejected it.
Correct.
So, and a lot of the comments that I personally have received from people who live in my area, your area, and Melissa's area, all pretty much sounded the alarm of, and not necessarily, and I understand that there's an education issue. I don't mean the kids, I mean the voters. How come you can't build schools with the money that I already gave my builder, right? I'm like, well, that's a different ball of wax. That's not how that money was allocated. But there is significant Melrose payments in all of the different areas, and a lot of times because the Melrose are tied to the, some of the Melrose are not a direct line item, they're a percentage. So they end up, as the homes resale, they actually get a little bigger. To my understanding. So, like on my street, I've lived on my street for 24 years, and I've had new people move in and tell me that their Melrose were higher because obviously they bought 20 years later than I did. And so when you're talking about these Melrose and these taxes, there are some areas of the district that are very, very for them. And one of the things that I would like to consider as a discussion item is there appears to be, from the maps that they've showed us of the voting areas, there appears to be essentially like a U surrounding the middle of Beaumont, where there appears to be higher support for the bonds. Now, I don't know if it's feasible or not, but those are also the areas that seem to need the new schools. So instead of excluding the seniors, can we just exclude the middle of the U and just include those newer communities that seem to have an interest in a bond that the middle of town doesn't seem to have a lot of interest in? I know that that's absolutely insane and nobody suggested it before, and I'm looking at your guys' faces, you're like, oh my God, you must be nuts. I probably am,
Yeah.
but if we're talking about a bond that we want to pass, it makes sense that we look at our polling and our demographic data and we look at the areas where we actually need these schools and we think about those areas, because those areas on the outside of the U, as I'll describe it, those are the areas that we're going to spend the biggest, largest, significant portion of this bond money. Now, I understand we can't spend the bond money inside the areas that we did not collect the bond money. But these aren't for maintenance, these are for new builds mostly. So it's a complicated and sort of weird thing, but I wanted to make sure I suggested it.
But the bond extension
I'm not talking
isn't
about the
only.
extension.
Okay, okay.
No, I'm not talking about the extension. For
Okay.
maintenance, we maintain
Thank you
everything.
for clarifying that.
Yeah, so
'cause that's
if we're
for
talking
maintenance.
about drawing a new bond,
Right.
then as an idea, and we're going to exclude parts of town anyways, because we've had a lot of discussions about excluding parts of town, I'm not necessarily comfortable with excluding parts of town based on age, but I don't mind excluding parts of town based on, number one, where we're actually going to spend this money most significantly, and number two, where the people who live who are okay with spending this money. Sorry.
Well, are we, okay, because in my mind, are you in favor of the bond extension for the 2026? Or are you in favor of both bond measures going forward in 2026? The extension and the new bond?
I think he's saying the extension.
I'm in favor of the extension, and I'm in favor of further discussion at a future board meeting
Okay.
of another bond idea, and also looking at it from a radically different perspective.
Because your second point
Right.
on a new bond, it would be interesting to have that discussion in a year.
Right.
With a consulting service to see if such parameters are responsive. Again, I want to debate right now about, well, okay, but if we add money to a high school, everybody in the community will use the high school. So, but I don't want to muddy the water
Right.
on one and
Right.
two. But I would like to see the bond extension move forward, because if I'm not mistaken from our last study session, if we don't do that, if we don't do the bond extension now, we'll lose that opportunity, and it becomes, instead of an extension, it becomes
A new tax.
a new tax.
Well, it's a new tax no matter how you slice it. I mean, we're calling it a bond extension, but the reality is these people paid off that car. We're just selling them a brand new one the day they pay it off. It's a new tax no matter how you slice it.
It's an extension of tax.
Yeah, it's an extension.
It's an extension.
Yeah, I think that the conversation could be radically different in 2 years. And so, although I think it's beneficial to always consider and think ahead of time, it would be good to look at, you know, a more current environment in the future for the new bond. You know, when we had these discussions, we've had a lot of discussion about this. And it's obviously a really sensitive topic. I think since we live in the community, we understand the thoughts of the voters as far as, you know, the financial burdens of bonds. And I think that our superintendent and cabinet did an excellent job on the town hall meetings, and I wish more residents would have attended, because we directly addressed a lot of the myths regarding how schools are built and repairs and all of that, and that the Melrose and the HOAs and the, you know, new building money that we get just doesn't even come close to what we need for those items, and those are the most common misconceptions. However, Jeff, when I think it was the last time we met, but I don't know, we've talked about this a lot. This is to me, this is such a heavy-weighted decision, but the one thing that you said is that if we don't put it on the ballot, then the voters don't even get an option. And the 5 of us are deciding that we're not even giving voters an option, and that really struck me. And I think our voters deserve to either say yes or no on this. And we respect that. And we have other options. Very, not very good options, in my opinion, on how to move forward if a bond doesn't pass. But nonetheless, our district is very prepared, you know, with other options. But yeah, they're very unfavorable. So I'm hoping this bond passes, and I know we have another meeting to actually vote on that. But all that to say, I'm in agreement to go with the bond extension and definitely not consider the new bond at this point.
Not to prolong it, but we're anticipating in 2 years that circumstances will improve, which is no guarantee. It's no guarantee that in 2028, fiscally or socially, it's going to improve. One of the things that we have not, or I have not heard, the impact on the teachers and the students for if we don't put the bond on, if we do put it on, if it doesn't pass. The rate by which Beaumont is growing, we cannot really stand pat with how things are. And, you know, I lean toward, yeah, the community and the voters have to vote so that even if they vote it down, they have to bear the weight. You know, rather than us taking that from them.
I agree.
Because they have to understand the seriousness of the situation. But if we're just, what transpired between 2024 and 2026? That it didn't pass in 2024, and now we're here 2 years later, and what has been done or what hasn't been done to rightly inform the people, as you said, we did town hall meetings, but to understand the gravity of the situation, the limited space that we have, the growing numbers that we have. There's no guarantee in 2028 that we're going to be in any different situation.
We have in the audience our financial advisor, Mr. Jason Chung, who can help with specific questions related to just the question that Board President Brown asked. We did look at these two areas. If, as a scenario, what would it generate if we just carved those two specific areas on the west side of town and east side of town? And so I don't know if Jason, if you're interested on that response, he has some numbers on that.
I think that's for a future,
Yeah. That's, because from what I've heard, from what I'm understanding, the board is in favor of the extension, but is in looking at the new bond for a further date. So I don't think that that would be a good use of our time tonight, but if you guys want to hear.
And again, we're not voting to even authorize the extension tonight. We're just voting for the superintendent to prepare some more information for us to be more prepared to make our vote in July. So tonight's vote is not even on whether or not we're going to approve this for the ballot. I'm just clarifying.
Right, no, thank you but I feel like the amount of discussion that we've had on this goes to show, not that we're just having a discussion to prove a point, but the weight of it, you know? So
Oh, absolutely.
it is important.
Yes. Okay. So.
Do we take a vote on
Yeah, we
authorizing
need-
the superintendent? Okay.
Yes. So this is an action item, so, and we have a motion already, so lots of discussion. If there is no other discussion, I would like to call for the vote. And the motion carries. Item 15.1, approve a CASP testing initiative for Mountain View Middle, excuse me, for Mountain View Middle School. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Oh, sorry.
Second. We're in sync tonight, Lance.
All right. Any discussion?
Yeah, just for clarification for myself, this is an incentive for students to test. I'm going to assume it's going to be a lottery. Is the principal here?
No, but we can answer the question about the incentive.
Yeah, because it's just one item, so I'm going to assume it's a lottery.
It's 5 of the PlayStations.
So it's still going to be a lottery?
Yeah, it's everyone that has perfect attendance and actually took the tests.
Right, yes, attendance took the test, and they're entered into a incentive drawing. Right.
Okay. And this is in parity, the dollar amount is in parity with the, let's just say, Sanji, the other middle school?
All of them do something a little different, and so we budgeted CASP incentives to every school site, and they have based on the culture of their school, to create incentives that might look different at different school sites.
Okay, but as long as the dollar amount was equal at both middle
Yes,
schools?
yes. Mhm.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
And to the superintendent, when a principal puts an item on the agenda, can you make sure they're in attendance?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 16.1, approve a revised job description for the Director of Nursing. We hear a motion.
So moved.
Second?
All right. Any discussion?
Yeah,
Hearing, oh, sorry.
Just a little bit, is just that I, being at the VN graduation, I had an opportunity to speak with the director and kind of got a glimpse into like the thought process behind all of this, and it really just goes to show how much the program's grown and evolved and how much thought has been put into the growth and using using that to make the job description more appropriate. And I always like to see that, so thank you.
Call for the vote. And the motion carries. 16.2, approve a memorandum of understanding between the Beaumont Unified School District and the California School Employees Association and its Beaumont Chapter 351 regarding the position adjustments within the Child Nutrition Services Department. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. And motion carries. Item 16.2, adopt resolution 202526-41, the elimination of one administrative classified position for the 26-27 school year. Do I hear?
16.3.
Sorry, 16.3. Did I misread that? I'm sorry.
16.2.
Yeah, he said 16.2.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Item 16.3 and all the other things I just said.
So moved. So moved, and thank you, because I thank you for the mistakes you're making, because it means that all of us do, and we can be at ease.
Yes.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. And the motion carries. Item 16.4, approve the see, now I am second guessing every one. Item 16.4, approve the certificated personnel assignment order listed on the report dated May 12th, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
Second?
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. Motion carries. Item 16.5, approve the classified personnel assignment order listed on the report dated May 12th, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. And the motion carries. Item 16.6, approve administrative and confidential personnel assignment order listed on the report dated May 12th, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. And the motion carries, and we have an introduction.
We're flexible. President Brown, members of the board, Superintendent Kakish, cabinet, colleagues, and guests. We are pleased to announce the appointment of Dr. Beatrice Gray as our TK-12 programs coordinator. Dr. Gray returned to Beaumont Unified School District in 2023 as the Parent and Community Engagement Coordinator after previously serving as an assistant principal and principal in our district. She brings extensive experience as a teacher and both site and district administrator. Prior to her return, Dr. Gray served as the Director of Assessment, Curriculum, and Technology with the Panama Buena Vista Union School District. Dr. Gray earned her Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies from the University of California at Santa Barbara, her Master of Education from the University of La Verne, and her Doctorate in Organizational Leadership from the University of Massachusetts Global. Please join us in welcoming Dr. Beatrice Gray to her new position as TK-12 Programs Coordinator.
Well, good evening, President Brown and board members, Superintendent Kakish, cabinet members, and of course, community friends. No family here, just me. But thank you for the opportunity to go back to my roots in instruction. Looking forward to working with Dr. Barnett and the entire team. Had a great time with Dr. Chang. Sorry. But I do appreciate the opportunity, so thank you. Any questions for me?
Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Congratulations.
And we are also pleased to announce the appointment of Jordan Jackson as the new assistant principal at Beaumont High School. Ms. Jackson joined Beaumont Unified School District in 2023, most recently serving as a high school teacher and administrative designee. She began her career in education in 2015 with Colton Joint Unified School District, where she served as an AVID coordinator, English teacher, and induction coach. Ms. Jackson earned her Bachelor of Arts in Creative Writing and her Master of Education at the University of California, Riverside. Please join us in welcoming Jordan Jackson to her new position as high school assistant principal.
Good evening, President Brown, members of the board, Superintendent Kakish, cabinet, colleagues, community, and hi, husband. Thank you for this opportunity. It's truly an honor to serve as an assistant principal at Beaumont High School. While BHS has grown over the years and our community is no longer the small town that I grew up in, and still has that welcome, special feel that Beaumont has. Beaumont is my home. My roots here run deep. My class photo hangs in the hallway that I walk through every day at work. I serve alongside educators who shaped me, and I have the privilege of supporting the next generation of families that I grew up alongside. I'm excited to continue supporting our students, partnering with our staff, and working with our families to ensure every student has the opportunity to succeed. Thank you for your trust. It's truly an honor to step into this role and serve the community that helped to shape me. Am I supposed to ask you if you have questions for me?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 17.1, receive an update on the district's capital facilities projects.
Good evening, President Brown, Superintendent Kakish, board members, cabinet, and public. I'm Anna Gonzalez here to give you a quick update regarding our projects. So on the agenda, we have Palm Innovation Academy new kitchen building, San Gorgonio Middle School portables, Mountain View Middle School portables. So the first project here is a new kitchen with new shade structure, parking lot reconfiguration, ADA upgrades. And this, as mentioned before, this project started back in January with bidding. Construction started in May of 2025 and recently completed. The architect of record is RCA. Construction manager, Ledesma Meyer, and this project had a budget of $7.3 million.
When's the ribbon cutting on that?
May 27th.
May 27th.
Yes.
What time?
It is 8:30 in the morning.
8:30 in the morning, May
Yes.
27th. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, please.
And so these two photos just show you kind of a side photo and a front photo view of what the building looks like, now completed with our lunch tables, our guardrails all installed. And as I said earlier, we're going to have a ribbon cutting celebration this month, and we're excited to have you all present.
And what day again was that?
May 27th. Okay.
8 o'clock.
8:30.
8:30. Well, I got to be late. People are always late.
The next project here is San Gorgonio Portables. Here's where we installed 4 portables in a new restroom building. Bidding and awards started July 2025 through September of 25. and the construction went from September of '25 through February of '26. So you know these portables have been occupied. We are actually wrapping up punch list item, which is like minor site work items. The architect of record is PBK Architects, construction manager Ledesma Meyer, and this project had a budget of $3.5 million. And so you've seen the portables. This is just a couple pictures of the items that were also included in the project. So you can see that we installed brand new fencing along the perimeter of the buildings, and we also reseeded the backside of the portables as well. The last project on the agenda is Mountain View portables. And here we installed 4 classroom portable buildings. ADA, we had a new restroom. We had some ADA path of travel and site work. The bidding and award went from July of 2025 through September of 25. Construction, September of 2025 through February of 2026. Architect of record, again, PBK, CM, Ledesma and Meyer, and again, the project budget was $3.5 million. So once again, you've seen the portable buildings. We just wanted to show you the final items that we worked on here at Beaumont Middle, or Mountain View Middle School. So this was the last ADA path of travel that we upgraded the front of the school. We added some guardrails, we added new concrete, and so this was the last phase of our project. And with that, that concludes my presentation, unless you have any questions. Ribbon cutting, May 27th, 8:30.
Did the projects run on budget?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. We are actually, if you've seen the notice of completion, you've seen some actually change orders that came back to, money that came back to the projects, actually.
Yeah, I knew the answer to that, but I think it's good for the public to hear that as well.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
thank you.
Is your mic on?
It's not on, but did you guys hear it?
Yeah, just wanted to make sure everyone could.
I know, I should have turned it on, thank you. I'm gonna turn it on. The projects as Anna confirmed, all ran under budget.
And on time.
And on time.
Yes.
Yes. I asked the question that I knew the answer to, but I wanted to make sure everybody heard that because it takes good management to do that, so thank you.
Yeah, a shout out to the team because they did a good job.
It's a team effort.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Item 17.2, approve Erickson Hall Construction to provide construction management services and general conditions for the portables project at Sundance, Starlight, Brookside, and Tournament Hill Elementary Schools. Do we hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
It's good for our new construction managers to hear we want projects on time and under budget.
Nice.
Early.
We don't want to break that momentum.
No 10%.
All right. And the motion carries. That was item 17.2. All right. So item 18.1, receive a report from the California School Employees Association and its Beaumont Chapter 351. Is there anyone present? Okay. Item 18.2, receive a report from the Beaumont Teachers Association as he sprints to the dais.
Good evening, President Brown, board members, Superintendent Kakish, Cabinet. Julio Martinez here for our report for May 12th, 2026. List of activities BTT has attended. So the BHS every 15-minute program continues to be an impactful message to our youth. Career Day at Brookside Elementary was fun but exhausting. I forget how much energy elementary students have. The last district calendar committee meeting for the school year was attended. The superintendent's town hall at Chatney was attended. I also met at San Gregorio Middle School with a meeting between the ELA staff and Dr. Barnett and Dr. Brown. The last district health and welfare committee for the school year was attended. I've been participating in the meetings held by Forensic Analytical Consulting Services at the staff at Brookside, and I look forward to that final report being published. The superintendent's listening tours have almost concluded. We were at Sundance last week, and our final meeting will be Thursday at Palm. However, for some other information, BTA and the district are at a grievance level 2 concerning Article 931. CTA and BTA met with Superintendent Kakish and Assistant Superintendent Castillo on May 5th as a part of our level 2 meeting. To date, the issues still remain unresolved and the grievance remains active. We are awaiting a response from the district as a result of that May 5th meeting. And lastly, the association is disappointed with the district concerning a request we made on April 17th by our negotiations team. So the request for an additional negotiations meeting prior to our final one coming up on May 29th. We hope to discuss outstanding MOUs, but particularly the TKK MOU. Those requests for an additional meeting have remained unanswered since April 17th. And at this point now, we have no choice but to wait until the last meeting of May 29th to discuss our proposals and counter proposals, etc. And needless to say, our TKK members are extremely upset that the request was not given a priority status for an MOU that greatly affects our working conditions. And lastly, I just want to mention that I'll be reaching out to each one of you this summer, each board member. I'm hoping to invite you to a one-on-one meeting where we can kind of get to know one another. You know, communication between management and labor, I think, is very vital. As a council member, I meet with SEIU and the Beaumont POA, and sometimes it's just there to listen. So hopefully you'll accept that invitation, and we can establish maybe a similar type of relationship here at the district. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 18.3, receive a report from the Beaumont Administrative Confidential Management Employees Group.
Good evening, President Brown, board members, Superintendent Kinkish, cabinet colleagues, community. Last meeting, I celebrated all the folks that received awards, so I won't do that again. But it was an awesome event last night at the AXA Region 19 celebration. One person that wasn't recognized tonight from that was actually Dr. Benicia Carr, who is the region president, who led the ceremony last night. She did an awesome job recognizing all the leadership in Riverside County, but especially our folks, of course. Want to congratulate Jordan Jackson on her appointment as assistant principal. She's been an amazing contributor to Beaumont High School, and I've had an opportunity to work with her as well. She's going to do awesome in her new role. Also congratulate Dr. Gray on her move to TK-12 programs. Again, she's done an amazing job as our parent community engagement coordinator, and so excited to see what she can do in that new role. Also want to wish best of luck to Emily Holochak, who's moved on from, as our Director of Nursing into a new role outside of our organization, as well as Kim Poe, who is a longtime employee of Beaumont Unified, who has held a number of positions. And now I've got a couple more meetings, so I won't say any, farewells, but my name is on there as well. After 10 years, I'll be transitioning to a new role in Riverside Unified School District. So a little surreal to see my name on the agenda. Like I said, I've got 2 more meetings, so you're stuck with me jumping up to the podium till then. But so I'll say all that at another time, but I just want to say thank you.
I can't seem to get rid of you.
I'm following you. I'm following you, President Brown.
Because you came from us, and now you're back to us.
I did. And I do, well, again, I was going to say this to the end, but I do want to, the move I'm making is my wife, I live in Riverside. My wife is a teacher in Riverside Unified. Both my daughters are students there. And so the opportunity to return home, contribute to my community, serve the district that serves my family is something that I couldn't have passed up. And,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, I'll save the rest of my remarks for the last meeting.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Item 18.4, receive a report from Board Member Susie Laura. She couldn't make it this evening. Item 18.5, receive a report from Board Member David Sanchez.
No report. Mrs. Kakish did an excellent job going over what we've been up to, so no report tonight.
All right. Item 18.6, receive a report from Board Member Dr. Lanston Sylvester.
Good evening. Thank you, President Brown, Superintendent Kakish, cabinet members, community. Just want to share that we did something that was not. We did attend the Coast to Coast in Washington, D.C., where we met with Congressman Ruiz and also Congressman Calvert's aid in pushing for funding that I think went fairly well and gave them a step-by-step scenario that they could try to implement, even though we're not close. I think we're at 8%, and we're supposed to be at 40% in funding. Also, I want to give kudos. I've attended several high school theatrical productions, and this last one I attended the previous one with Shrek, and I attended this one with Hairspray, and I can say that our Beaumont High Theater productions are second to none. It was actually tremendous, and so I want to give kudos to them and to all the work that they put in, and that is my report.
Thank you, Dr. Sylvester. Item 18.7, receive a report from Board Member Melissa Williamson.
Thank you, President Brown. First of all, I just wanted to say, I don't know what I'm, okay.
Oh, yay.
Say, good job, President Brown.
Thank you.
When it's, like, we don't receive training for this, we're just really like normal people, and so then when you go to lead a board meeting, there's no training ahead of time. I'm sure it's easier the second time around, but, and then when you get thrown in, like, auctions, it just is, when I was president last year, I just kept reminding myself, hey, everybody screws up, and that made me feel a little better, so I appreciate you. Yeah, Hairspray, I just have to second that. I had a chance to talk with some of the staff while I was there at the performance, and they were telling me how much the students got from being a part of that, and actually discussing and learning and growing about the social justice issues that were brought up in that performance. And so that's that added layer. I love it when students are learning and it's not really like it's not in a classroom. It's like organic. And so, and then I also love watching my kids watch it. Because if they're attentive and if they're enjoying it, it's pretty good. And so it was a really good performance. I know May said it, but I'm not able to go to a lot of the daytime events, so I won't be at the ribbon cutting and have to prioritize, especially being at my school at this time of year because it's very busy. So I try to go to a lot of the evening, and just the busyness of Beaumont right now says a lot about how many people are recognized, and Jennifer and Eben and Gabby, congratulations on your recognition last night. I chose to be at the VN. You guys know how I feel about that. But the last weekend, I got to be in Burbank, and it's not too often that I get to spend so much time with our alt ed programs, and that was just way cool. I mean, just I always think that the individuals that work in like the outliers. Like I'm from child development. We're an outlier. The character and it's just so much fun, and the dedication. I mean, for everybody, but it was just an enjoyable weekend. And Beaumont cleaned house. I mean, every time they spoke, it was like Beaumont. And the pep squad was on fire. They gave me pom-poms, and it was so much fun. I mean, it was just one after the other, the recognitions. I mean, we cleaned house, and So being there both Friday night and Saturday night was very rewarding. Getting to spend time with you guys was amazing. And Dr. Benicia Carr, she and all of her staff, they're just phenomenal. So nice to spend time with them. Obviously, the VN graduation is always so rewarding. You know, those students, they decide to be there, they choose it, and they overcome so much in getting that diploma, that nursing graduation, and it's just the best. If you haven't taken the time to go to one, then I would advise to do that at some point, because it just is so inspiring to be part of that. And I won't be able to be at the retirement dinner this Friday, and it's one of my favorite things ever to be at. And hopefully next year we will be able to remedy that. Both David and I are on the CSBA Delegate Assembly.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just hate to miss a retirement dinner, but I went last year and I had to take a nap on Saturday because I couldn't handle how long the day was on Saturday with flying in so early. And so I'm making a good choice this year and flying in on Friday night. But I'm bummed that I'm going to miss that. And Michael, I won't be here on June 9th, which is your last meeting, but you know, you were at Mountain View, I think when Joshua was there. You took good care of him, and I appreciate that. And it's just been fun getting to know you on a different level. And I'm excited for you, though. So, yeah, great, congratulations. And I think that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Williamson. So I'm going to be very brief, but I want to take a minute to express some gratitude to my board. And I don't say that as the president, I say that as a resident of the city. The things that this board does for the community, and we're not really allowed to toot our own horns, that's not really what we're up here for, but the quiet behind the scenes work that everybody up here is performing on all of our behalf is amazing. As has been mentioned, countless awards events and banquets to celebrate the district, and we are happy to celebrate the district, but all of this takes time. And all of us have day jobs and a life and other things going on. Trips to Washington, D.C. These are not vacations. These are events that are scheduled the entire day, and you have to coordinate and take time off from work, and you have to use your personal time to do it. There's nothing comped about it. This is about as close to a volunteer position as you can get, and I want to recognize and appreciate my fellow board members. So, and with that, we do not need to adjourn to closed session. No, we do. Oh, we do. I'm sorry. With that, we will adjourn to closed session and reconvene when we get out.
Closed session, do we need to say the items?
No?
Susie always reminded me to say that. That's.
I'm sorry? We don't.
It would be 5.4 to 5.8.
Okay. Oh, can I get a motion to convene to closed session for items 5.4 to 5.8?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. So, and David. All right. Call for the vote.
We're not coming back out here.
We have to come.
We have to come back.
If there's anybody still here.
Right. Good job, appreciate it, Jeff. All right, come on, pick up the pace now. Wait, sign something. Oh, that's, oh, they'll bring it in there.
Here you go.